Ana Walshe, a 39-year-old marketing executive who divided her time between her family home in Cohasset, Massachusetts, and her office in Washington, D.C., disappeared during the early hours of January 1st, 2023. She and her husband, Brian Walsh, had hosted a friend for New Year's Eve dinner. The guests left around 1:30 a.m., and Ana was never seen again. Brian told investigators that Ana had suddenly left for Washington because of a work emergency. He claimed he spent the following days running errands and caring for their three young sons. But when Ana failed to report to work, her employer reported her missing. Investigators quickly became suspicious after discovering blood and a broken kitchen knife in the couple's basement. There was also no evidence that Ana had traveled to the airport. As detectives investigated Brian's movements, they uncovered a disturbing series of internet searches made just before dawn on January 1st. Among them were: best way to dispose of a body, how to saw a body, how long before a body starts to smell. He also searched questions about inheriting after someone goes missing and whether a person could be convicted of murder without a body. According to prosecutors, these searches revealed a desperate attempt to cover up a killing. The investigation uncovered even more evidence. On January 2nd, Brian was captured on surveillance cameras purchasing cleaning supplies, heavy-duty trash bags, tarps, a hacksaw, and other cutting tools. Later, investigators found discarded trash bags containing a hacksaw, a hatchet, protective clothing, gloves, cleaning products, Ana's purse, and personal belongings. Forensic testing revealed Ana's DNA on the hacksaw and hatchet. Both Ana's and Brian's DNA were found on the protective suit. Blood evidence recovered from the home also matched the forensic findings. Prosecutors argued that Brian had strong motives. He had recently pleaded guilty in an art fraud case and was awaiting sentencing under house arrest. They also claimed Ana had begun an affair and that Brian stood to inherit approximately $1 million from her life insurance policy. The defense presented a completely different version of events. Brian's attorney claimed Ana died suddenly in her sleep from natural causes and that Brian panicked after discovering her body. He admitted Brian disposed of her remains but insisted he never killed her. According to the defense, Brian's disturbing internet searches were driven by fear, shock, and desperation rather than guilt. Prosecutors rejected that explanation. They argued that the digital evidence, surveillance footage, purchase records, forensic testing, and Brian's inconsistent statements all pointed to one conclusion: Ana had been murdered and Brian had carefully attempted to hide the crime. On December 15, 2025, after an 8-day trial, the jury found Brian Walshe guilty of first-degree murder. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Ana's body has never been found. Her family told the court that the greatest pain was not only losing her, but never having the chance to lay her to rest. Although many details of that night remain unknown, the overwhelming evidence convinced the jury that Brian Walshe was responsible for Ana's death.